If you're like me, you can't stand posting to social media, having to think up posts, design them according to the various requirements of each social platform, having to visit each social platform, real pain in the neck. Now, I appreciate there are tools to do that, but they all cost money, and they're elsewhere. They're somewhere else on the web. So you have to sign up and all that kind of stuff, and then you have to send posts to these platforms. And I know there are other tools you can use to parse maybe a larger article you've written or whatever and create sub posts and all that. But there's a lot of control out of your hands when you trust these other platforms to do that. I don't like the idea of having another tool as part of my stack. I just want it simplified. I want one or two or three at most tools to use on a regular basis to make this happen. So today I've been working on that. I've been building an automation for myself with Claude Code inside VS Code to help make this happen. Now, there are some limitations. Some platforms, there's no API available. Other platforms, there's certain rules and criteria. So there's all kind of hoops that you have to jump through. And Claude Code has helped me overcome a lot of that. Now, where I haven't managed to fix those issues or get around those issues or under them, I've had to create a workaround. So I'm going to walk you through that now and show you what I built today. I'm just about to test it out. I will be testing it out maybe over the next week or 2 weeks, and I'll continue to iterate and to modify and to make better this workflow. So let me show you what I'm doing. Share my screen. This is VS Code, and if you're not running Claude Code or indeed Codex, ChatGPT inside VS Code, you're missing out on a world of opportunity. Now, I'm not going to get into that today. Hopefully you'll see where I'm going once you get a look at this. So as you can see from the screen here, I've got the command social set up. So when I type into my chat box here, my dialog window, /social, Claude Code goes to work executing this process, this workflow, which involves multiple skills and MCPs and so on to make it all happen. And it's really easy, although it's a bit lengthy because you have to really work with the AI, with Claude in this case, to refine and to figure out what it is you want and how it all plays out. So here's what I have so far. I enter in the command /social, and that triggers a couple of agents and so on and skills to activate. The first thing that happens is, as you can see in step 1 here, is that I enter in a title for this post or this article or whatever it happens to be. In this case, it's a LinkedIn post. Actually, I should go here. So /social. The title of the post that I want to write is AI is replacing middle managers, right? I'm an organizational psychologist. I operate in this space where technology meets people, socio-technical design, how we use technology in the workplace. And oftentimes, the reason why this is a relevant topic, oftentimes organizations just bring in tech and expect people to take it on simply because it seems to provide efficiencies, and there's a bit of a paradox to it because it results in something the complete opposite. So this is relevant to me. So the title of the post that I want to publish to LinkedIn is AI is replacing middle managers. So this triggers a sequence of events. So this skill that I'm about to build, social orchestrator skill, receives this input and takes these actions. Number 1, identifies the content pillar. I've already decided that. I'll show you that MD file in a minute. In this place, it's selected workplace transformation. Second step, it checks the 7-day topic cooldown. So it makes sure that I haven't posted on this topic in the last week. It determines if additional research is needed. Yes, or maybe if it's not a tutorial, it says yes or prompts me to give it more information. provides a critique of my approach and my assumptions, and then asks for confirmation. So then it pushes it over to me, etc., etc. Step 2 then, research analyst kicks in, finds academic sources, and so forth. A couple of criteria based on that. Step 3, LinkedIn writer skill kicks in. This is all automated, by the way. So it's received my topic and my approved framing. It has the research findings from the research skill. It's checked existing posts for my profile, how I like to write, how I like to format the post. I'm going to show you that in a second. And takes these actions, scans the LinkedIn folder for voice examples, generates the post, creates the folder, writes the post, validates against the rules that I've set, and then we do a validation check. It produces the post. Let me show you an example. So if we go into marketing here, and I go into social media, LinkedIn, here's a post from today. As you can see in the right hand panel here, just moving some stuff out of my way. This is the post, and it took a bit of over and back with me to construct this, but this is accurate, and it's in line with how I write and how I speak and so on. So I get this and I edit it here, copy it, paste it into LinkedIn. There's also the option of Claude posting on my behalf. So once I have this article produced here, it saves it in a new folder under the post title, as you can see here on the right hand side. Then I approve it or whatever, edit as needed, and so on, make any changes. Once I have that ready, I can post it if I want myself, or I can wait for the subsequent workflow step to be taken. I'll explain that in a bit. But in the meantime, another skill gets going in the background, or 5 of them in parallel, all at the same time, without my input. It writes a Twitter post, a blue sky, you can see it here. Twitter writer skill gets going, blue sky writer skill gets going, TikTok writer skill gets going, etc. YouTube Shorts, Substack writer. So these 5 skills operate in the background and produces posts for each one. Under social media, I've got a Twitter post, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, Substack, ready to go. I review all of these. This is me. Shows me all the versions, and then triggers a webhook via Zapier to send these posts to SocialBee. It's a social scheduling and posting application that I have an account with. I got a one-time fee license a couple of years ago, and so it was handy, no more costs. So that's why it's the only reason why I'm using this. Ordinarily, I don't want more steps or more tools in the process. I want it all happening here inside Claude Code, but in this case I've made an exception because I've had to. So Claude Code shoots this over to Zapier, this script here. Zapier creates the posts in SocialBee, and they're all ready to go, requeued for posting later. I've got some other commands here that are set up or about to be set up. LinkedIn, Twitter, shouldn't be Twitter, should be X. Blue Sky, publish. So these are here if I want to use them individually. So how this looks, let me give you a map. I'll just tell Claude Code to give me a map. And it should produce one here for me. All very quickly, as per usual. All right, here's the map. As you can see, quite complex. I don't want to have to think this through. This is incredibly boring to me. I don't want to have to think this through every time. And I don't want to be paying other applications fees for the privilege when I can do all here in Claude Code. As you can see then, I present the command social and the title of the post. Social orchestrator skill kicks in. It does its business. I confirm the approach. Additional research, yes or no. Moves on to LinkedIn article skill that takes the inputs, produces the outputs, which is essentially the post. We go through a validation process, saves it, creates a folder and a file, saves it, I review, post it to LinkedIn. Once we do that, Claude continues, creates additional posts with these skills: Twitter Writer, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Substack, etc. Produces the files for those. I review for each. Once I give it the OK, these go out to SocialBee via the SocialBee MCP that I'm about to set up. Claude Code sends Zapier the webhook. SocialBee then accepts the posts. They're all queued in SocialBee and published at the times I've set. Component summary here. And I'm about to pull the trigger on this. And test it. I'll let you know how that goes. But that's an example of what I'm building. That's taken probably, I'd say, 5 or 6 hours. And the reason being is because when you're building these automations, you have to think, is this appropriate? Is this the right step? Now, Claude Code in this case can do a lot of thinking for you, how to connect this stuff, but the strategy needs to be yours. It needs to be mine. We can't offload that to the AI. As far as I'm concerned, an AI such as Claude Code or ChatGPT. Incidentally, if I want to use ChatGPT here, I should share my screen actually first before I do that. Let's do this again. If I wanted to use ChatGPT, which I occasionally do, I click on this fella here. I've installed Codex, and I can go to work here in Codex. That gives me another option, another AI option inside VS Code. Now, that's not a regular thing. Occasionally I would, and the reason I would be if I'm working on specifically, on the left hand side you can see here, ChatGPT projects, right? So ChatGPT projects, I use Codex. If they're not ChatGPT projects, I'll use Claude Code. And I sometimes use both just to validate one against the other. I did that yesterday actually. I was building, what was I building? Oh yeah, AI for PowerPoint workshop. Using Claude Code to build a slide deck versus using ChatGPT. It was a bit of a slog, but using ChatGPT and Claude together inside VS Code, I managed to come up with solutions for that workshop. Anyway, that's how and why I would use ChatGPT, or more specifically Codex, inside VS Code. If you want to know more about these automations, how to build them, I'm sharing a lot of this stuff for free on GenAI Skills Academy. There's a link below this video. Join me there and I'll teach you what I know. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.